Hi all. Today we present Museum The Power of Place, an educational initiative created by Moscow School of Management SKOLKOVO together with the Vladimir Potanin Foundation, which as an initiator of systematic sustainable changes in the cultural field of Russia has been an active participant in the transformation of Russian museums. What we see today is that many regional centers in Russia have inherited the results of Soviet unified, industry-oriented urban development policies. They lack their own individual design and miss a unique local identity that will help them stand out and become a driving force for development. Museums, while being cultural organizations with a long and high impact history, are today being forced to redefine themselves in a rapidly changing socio-cultural and economic situation. Besides competing with offline offerings, museums face fierce rivalry with online products, social media, streaming platforms, online courses, etc. All these aspects form two critical issues. On the one hand, there is an unnecessary or even lost museum, and on the other hand, a faceless and unhappy city. We realized that the fundamental purpose of change for a museum is not just to survive and increase attendance, but rather to reinvent the museum as an essential and relevant center of cultural, social, and economic development in its region and for its communities. It is crucial to develop the necessary skill sets for museum leaders that are vital for the implementation of the so-called cultural revitalisation initiatives at the intersection between museum activities and territory development. It is essential to enable some of the leading regional Russian museums to build their identity and capacity as collaborative institutions, initiators of cross-sectoral dialogue, and innovative social and education centers, locally and internationally integrated into cultural and civic spaces and development agendas. A lengthy R&D procedure was conducted prior to launching the program, which included a research which revealed the cities that had the highest potential for development through cultural means, and a foresight session, which helped analyze the surrounding museum environment, frame key challenges, and propose the path for the optimal development of a modern museum. Employing a three-step selection system, 10 regional museum representatives were chosen, joined by collaborators from other urban projects. The finalists were personalities ready to solve the current issues of the territory through cultural instruments, which formed 10 teams that started their training in 2018. The program objectives were to provide the tools necessary for working with heritage, urban agenda, and community development, to form project teams and develop competencies within those teams, to establish new external partnerships, to learn about best practices and concepts, and to create and support development projects. This part-time program combined 150 hours of training spreading over 3 project-focused modules. The aim of the project work was to create leadership projects at the intersection of museum activity and urban development. Thus, the team's final product was dubbed a cultural urban project, highlighting the main project element. Our expert team identified a number of criteria for the project to be deemed successful, which includes work with local heritage, be collaborative, sustainable, and scalable, create positive impact on the city, and finally, be innovative to the organization and locally. One of the highlights of the program was the custom-developed exercise called the Museum Mile, which was a one-day walking route that included visits to the headquarters, back offices, and infrastructure facilities of some famous Russian museums, cultural institutions, and urban spaces, and also included meetings with their leaders. The winners of the program were 5 diverse projects addressing a wide range of urban issues, from preserving the heritage to finding a new identity for a city. These winning projects are all united by their focus on nourishing the horizontal ties between museums and socially oriented partners in the regions to create sustainable positive change. The first winner, Krasnoyarsk, is an industrial city with a post-industrial soul. Museum complex World Square has become one of the most fascinating museums with a postmodern philosophy. Today, the museum is ready to splash out on the city streets to guide and supervise the Society of Krasnoyarsk artists. Omsk has the highest level of population outflow in Russia and is characterized by a depressed population mood. The subway construction started in the 90s, cost billions of rubles, but hasn't been completed until today.
The project Restarting the Omsk Subway will create a permanent art space where important local events will be held. The third winner city is Tver. The project team has reconsidered its historical heritage closely connected with Catherine the Great. And suddenly, it turned out that Tver can successfully develop in the cultural field, integrating such important topics as feminist discourse, gender equality, and sustainable development. The fourth city, Yekaterinburg, is the Russian capital town of the avant-garde movement. However, its citizens are still indifferent to this heritage. The avant-garde publicity project will make it possible to preserve the most iconic historical monuments and to start modifying the citizens' values. Finally, Norilsk is an industrial northern city located above the Arctic Circle with an ambition to attract residents. The City Museum project, which aim is to unite collective local memory taken from citizen stories, will help Norilsk keep its distinctive local identity and make newcomers feel at home. As shown by the interest from museums, cultural institutions, and regional authorities, there are opportunities for transforming this experience into a wider educational offering for the country's more than 2,500 public, corporate, and private museums, employing more than 76,000 people. In 2020, due to the global spread of COVID-19, the Foundation undertook additional obligations to extend the implementation term and to increase the grant funding by 10%. Moreover, it was decided to allow the reallocation of the project budget to provide flexibility and ensure increased project viability in times of a serious crisis. Thank you.